Okay. Hopefully I'm live. I think it's just scheduled me again. Oh, this sucks. Oh, okay, I am live. Perfect. This time it worked. And this time I'll put this in front of me in a little bit. I am going to do scans right now. Hit the thumbs up button if you are here. Live chat. We'll have the chat up so I can see it. But I'm going to do some scans now, market scanner. Oh, you know what? I have to do the recap. I'm not going to do scans. Let me just do a quick scan because I do think that there will be Apple scans. Apple, Square finally got one. Amazon and IGM. I don't have IGM. I will put it in there because it's a good ETF. Ooh, Uber crossed up. These are just ones that I think you could buy and hold over the weekend. Nothing in our energy names. Levered ETFs, TQQQ, and TARK. Low cost Vanguard. We've got probably nothing. Spider sectors. XLC. And I think that's it. Let's look at the Dow 30. I'm not going to go into energy names or anything of that sort. Dow 30. Apple is the only one. Let's look at NASDAQ 100. Yeah, because they're going to have to, numbers, I don't put a lot of, these numbers they're semi-important, but the numbers, I think inflation and things of that sort, as long as they don't come in super, super high, in my opinion, I think you're fine. You know what? I'm not even going to do a freaking recap. Screw people who want to recap. I ain't going to recap. Camera covered. Am I going to be able to hold this screen up? That's going to be interesting. Let me go into settings real quick. Hold on. I've got to display and brightness, auto lock. I'll say 15 minutes. That should be fine. I should be able to touch it. I gotta let the dogs out real quick. Hold on. Okay. You can go see them. My water too. My mother just woke up and the dogs needed to go visit a little. Let's see, notes. There we go. Morning, Brandon. Okay. I got a lot to go over. Okay. I'm going to go back into strategy tester. I'm going to make this one quick today. Run. I wish I had like 3 more feet of desk. Because I need my screen in front of me, which I can't freaking see. But I can now. And I need it on this padding. This is what sucks, man. I don't know. You know, I need a stand-up desk that has no TV on it, that is nice and wide, and then I could do this. This is why hotels are good, man. Hotels provide great stuff. And I don't have a cam light either, so you can't see my pretty face. Bitcoin's up. I've been posting on Instagram, and I think Joe doesn't have an Instagram, the one platform. Let me see if I see. Wow. Look at this. ETNB. RA Capital Management has put money into ETNB, Biotechnology, and DICE. 89 Bio and DICE. Meanwhile, Walmart, they continue to sell. I mean, big amounts, too. We're not talking small amounts. Look at that. 275 million, 230 million, 218 million. Hopefully you can see that. No, you can't. I'm on FinViz on the bottom right, just so you know. Yeah, you can kind of see most of the screen of FinViz. But let's see if I go to a chart on Alpha, what you can see on the screen. I'm on Seeking Alpha, charting. Let me make sure you can see it. We're going to add comparison. QQQ. DJI. Dow Jones Industrial Index. I think it's IA. No, that's the covered call ETF. Put DJI up there. QQQ SPY, DJI, and IWM. By the way, if you ever want to go into Seeking Alpha, they have, and you put in a comparison, they'll have different codes up here for different ETFs and things of that sort. They just suggest it. But look at that outperformance, by the way, of Qs. Almost 20%. I mean, do we get 20% in the quarter? It's the end of the year. You got 6% in SPY. I mean, if you're in the Dow 30, good luck. Enjoy yourselves. Micron, Chibers begin. Oh. Micron just crashed. We got to put this in into our notes. Hold on. Late news. MU crashing based on China may ban it. Ban U.S. chips. There we go. Okay. Where is my Safari? There we go. And did that come up here? Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm going to start this. Start this mofo. Good morning. Friday, March 31st. Last day of the quarter. And I was just looking at, I'll bring it up on my screen here. SPY, QQQ, DJI, IWM. When I think of DJI, I always think of my drones. If you guys didn't know, I have a bunch of drones, so I do fly drones. But QQQ greatly outpacing. I mean, if you're in small caps with the IWM, if you're in the Dow, you're underperforming. And I need to rebalance my parents' portfolio because they are underperforming. SPY, go back over to TrendSpider. SPY, you're still in this 395. We closed over 400 at 405. Crazy that again, old resistance, which was 4,000, becomes new support. So 4,000 now becomes support. 400 on SPY becomes support because 4,000 on the S&P is actually 400. So you're at 404.64. It's up slightly. The Fed core PCE numbers came in better than expected. I'm not an economist, so go read about it. I do not play one on TV. You're free to go and look at it if you'd like. But just so you know, they came in light. SPY closed up there. So I also want to start out the episode with a special shout out to the 3 or 4 people who shouted out on the Spotify. I guess Spotify allows you to respond to me. Here's the reason I don't see it. They do not send me alerts that, hey, somebody commented on your episode. So every now and then I'll go in there and I'll look, and all of a sudden I see them. I am not scanning through all of the episodes of this podcast to see if you commented from April 30th of last year. Just not my thing. So if you send me a little slightly nasty message that I missed you, just realize, come on. Again, your boy doesn't get paid to do this. It's I trade, I share. I don't charge you. I just ask for tips. But there was a couple that I wanted to address here early. And a person by the name of GWH Bag Holder on Spotify. Guess which stock he asked about? GWH. Yeah. Let's look at GWH. We'll pull it up here in TrendSpider, GWH. I initially looked at this and I said, it's a falling knife. I mean, look at it. You're in the stock right now in the 4-hour algorithm at $1.12. It's trading at $1.16. It's not making money. If we go over to FinViz and we look at GWH, it's an industrial, electric equipment and parts. They're not making money again. They are down 52% year to date. I just went over that tech is up. QQQs are up 20%. Even the Dow is up even slightly. This is down 52%. What do I think of this stock? It hasn't been covered since July. They had a $3.75 price target in July. Right now, the target price is $5. That's just because it's not covered. They're an energy storage company, designs and produces iron flow batteries from commercial and utility scale energy storage. There were 2 buys on this back March 6th and March 7th at $1.65. You're talking less than $10,000 each from directors. They want to put in, hey, we support this and we think it's worth more than $1.65. Yeah, but I'm only willing to put in something that, maybe I spend on a family vacation. Probably even less than that, to be honest with you. So I don't think it's a good buy. In my mind, I think there's better plays out there. I think you could buy Schwab. I think you could buy TPST. I think you could buy First Republic. I think First Republic is by far a better bet than this one. I mean, could this go back up to 3? Yeah, you'd have some insider news on that one. Again, I think you're just throwing your money at stuff that, throwing your money in and saying, God, I hope it goes up, back up because the fundamentals don't support it. I mean, they just don't. So, GWH, I appreciate your feedback, but I just don't think that this is a good stock. Honest to God, I'd rather see you put your money into something a little bit safer. Original Birdie B asked on Spotify about SOFI. SOFI Technology. Now, it's funny because last year, I remember I was on Mex Tour with MLS, Major League Soccer. And one of the guys at MLS said, dude, you do stocks. What do you think of SOFI? I said, it's a dumpster fire. Absolute dumpster fire that you can trade. I think he was in at about $7. It's trading at about $5.70 now. I actually believe that it is a dumpster fire. It's just a controlled dumpster fire. I do think that it has put in its bottom at about 4. If you don't know about SOFI, they were hurt by the student loan forgiveness because they have a bunch of student loans, and that's how they get people to sign up. That's essentially what their business plan is. Hey, get people to sign up with their student loans because we'll give you a low rate, and then they come in for other banking services and they make money that way. They also just took advantage. I mean, and this is the good news about SoFi. It is completely nimble. They saw that accounts that were at Silicon Valley were not guaranteed with the FDIC for anything over $250,000. So what did they do? They immediately enacted their bank charter and said, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to partner with other banks. And anything over $250,000, if you want to put it into SoFi, we will spread it out to around 50 other partner banks. So you're now guaranteed for a few $1,000,000 or something, somewhere in that neighborhood. So they'll put it, 5, 6, 7, 10 banks. I don't know the whole details of it, but it just showed me, hey, they're nimble. Now, here's what you have to know. When we talked about how bad GWH was. Well, here's the forward PE, 5,720. They ain't making money. It's even worse than GWH, but your year-to-date performance, you're up 24% because people know about this. People understand this business. People say, you know what? Yeah, it's super, super expensive, but at least I'm going to trade the stock. GWH just doesn't have the trading volatility. The average target price on this is $783. I do think that it's put in this floor. You can see it capitulated right here around $450. It's now capitulating around $550, and I think that's just showing that we're in an upward trend. You go back to February, this was all the way up near $7. So the target price is $787. You can see there's a couple of upgrades in January. One upgrade in January. JP Morgan upgraded them to neutral with a $6 price target. There are 3 buys in March. There was a sale, an option exercise in February, but the 3 buys are from the CEO, and they're not huge. I mean, this guy's, they're worth millions and millions of dollars, and he bought a bunch in December as well, around 4. But I think they're looking at about 550 at the bottom of this. So I do think that it's put in a floor. So, yeah, Birdie B, thanks again. Sam from Facebook wanted me, and I want to go over this. He asked me to look at a stock called DVND. It's a fund. It's an ETF, DVND. And they do have it in TrendSpider. It is not in FinViz. And so he asked me to do a bunch of research. If you're in the Facebook group, go and look at my research on that. Essentially, I just went to Google. I found a bunch of public records on it. It is super small volume. The actual contents of DVND are really good. DVND. See, you can't find anything on FinViz about it. TrendSpider does have the chart. It looks good. I mean, October here, you were at 23. You're up at 25. It's a actively traded fund that is through a small partner. I think they only have like $25 million in this actual fund. So my feedback to Sam was, there's better places to put your money that have better options. And if you have to dig this hard to find out about a fund, they ain't doing their job. The idea of a fund is you want as many people to benefit and you want as much money in your fund as you can. If they are not making that fund, quote unquote, visible to people or completely being candid about it, don't do it. Just don't do it. So go and read that thread with Sam. You'll see some interesting stuff. I don't suggest that you invest in this one. It's a dividend. They have a bunch of good names in it. Really good names. There's better ones out there. And I think there's even Google. Go on Google and, listen to, go on Google and just look at ETFs like DVND. And you'll find some type of, you can type it into Fidelity DVND. And it will give you about several other options that you may want to look at. And probably a lot of them are a lot better. I listened to, and I posted this on the Facebook group too, on the tape with Guy Adami, Dan Nathanson, and Josh Brown was a guest, and there was another guest who works with Josh Brown. Great episode. And one of the things that Dan Nathanson was talking about is, and Sam did this, by the way, Dan Nathanson said, back in our day when they started back in the 80s, you didn't have Google. You didn't have the internet. I went around the world in 1993. We didn't have email in 1993. For someone to ask a, hey, fact kind of thing, like, if Sam were to say, hey, what are the stocks that are in DVND? That's a dumb question. And Dan was kind of spouting off. There are dumb questions these days. And part of the dumb questions are just facts. You guys have the internet. You have the tools at your disposal. You have FinViz. You have Seeking Alpha. You have your brokerage account. If you're in a brokerage account like Robinhood, where they don't provide some data or some information or charts or charting program, if it's just on your phone, get the hell off. Even Webull has some information. They have some great stuff. And by the way, if you ever want to go down a rabbit hole, start reading some of the comments on some of the posts on Webull. Holy hell. Then you'll be scared for humanity. But yeah, Sam did it right. Sam said, hey, I researched this. I can't find anything. Can you help? I did about 10 minutes on Google, went down a couple of rabbit holes, found out more. But if you're going down rabbit holes trying to find your answer to your question on a specific fund because you can't find information, it's not a fund that you want to be in. Just like financial advisors, if they're telling you something, if your insurance payout salesman is telling you, about that life insurance is a great investment, he's not. If your investment advisor is telling you that life insurance is a great investment, he's an insurance salesman. He's not an advisor. Just understand the difference. Karthik asked me about, off of Instagram, he wanted me to look at SPG, which is Simon Property Group. This is in our core portfolio, and you can see on the screen, the 4-hour algorithm has you in as of March 27th, which was 3 days ago, at 104. It's trading at 107. I said anything about $100 is a great price for this. I like this at 120. It's got a great dividend with it. It's got some news that they're partnering with a steakhouse or something like that. 6.69% dividend. It does have a rather large PE for a mall, for a REIT. That's a little bit high. Year to date, it's down 8%. The average price target is 132. That's why I think anything around 100 is pretty good. You can see, look at all the buys. I mean, they're buying at 116. These are directors. And they're putting in, it's tens of thousands. It's not a huge amount, but they're putting in money. Nobody's really selling. They're just putting in money. And David Simon, who runs this group, he's a really good manager. Now, this competes with SKT. Now, remember I said 19 was a high PE? Well, SKT has 24. Year to date, you're up 4%. Over the last year, you're up 30% in this stock. SKT's average price target is 19. You're trading at 18.75. So if you're looking at malls and you're looking at REITs, I think SPG is your better thing. Last night, and I'll look at this in FinViz first. Tesla's senior VP of Powertrain and Energy Engineering sold over $2 million in the last week. You can go onto FinViz, type in Tesla, go down here, and you can see Andrew Baggiano. I mean, he sold $2.2 million worth. He optioned an exercise and then sold. I mean, he just optioned his exercise at $20.91 and sold at $194. CEO, Elon Musk on March 8th, optioned exercise at $473, and he sold $2 million more. This is, oh, I'm sorry, he didn't sell $2 million. Chief Financial Officer. There's a lot of sales in here. They're not a lot of money. Again, these guys have a tremendous amount of money. If you look, last December, that's $1 billion from Elon Musk. And then right before it, on the day before, $1.9 billion. So when you're talking about insider sales, in this one, you want billions. Millions means they're just putting a above ground pool in the backyard. Billions means they're putting the in-ground pool in the backyard. But it's interesting. I continue to say anything under 200, I think this is a buy. I have not bought back into this. I have been waiting for it to get back down. It did have a buy here on March 16th at 180 in the 4-hour algorithm. and you'd be up pretty good. I mean, 7%, somewhere in that neighborhood at 195. I continue to say you're getting off the 62% gain right here. In fact, let's take a look at some of the quarterly winners. Since tomorrow's April Fool's Day, and I'm pretty sorry that I'm not going to be on air, do a podcast on April Fool's Day, because you guys would be in for some pretty big headlines then. But this is not, April Fool's Day at all. Quarter date to winners, NVIDIA, big one, up 86%. Could you buy into this? In my personal opinion, I think, when people are hyping it up, I tend not to buy in, but they hype it up for a reason. It's a quality company. The PE is 157. And I am going to do at some point soon a video of AMD versus NVIDIA versus Intel, and which stock from a fundamental standpoint you want to invest in has the bigger push, blah, blah, blah. We might include some other chip names in that too. NVIDIA is up 87% year to date. 87%. That's huge. Again, when you look in our algorithm, it got you in January 5th at 147. You're at 173. That's a huge, huge run. I wouldn't trust that, I want to buy in at these, 52-week highs, but it's a $400 stock back in the day. Meta, another big quarterly winner, up 72%. Our algorithm has you in on this one at 184. It just came off this 44% from the beginning of the year there. It is up 72%. Meta, it's not expensive. The PE is 24. That's trailing. Forward PE is 17. And they are cutting costs unbelievably. There is a huge gap up to 350. We can pull this one back and we'll start to see this gap. I think it's 320 to 350 or something. That's about where I bought it in at. I've since sold. I took the loss and just kind of, didn't want to hold it on the way down. So hold on one second. I keep putting in I've got a crunched little desk setup here. But you can see there's the gap. And the gap is between 317 and 253. You're heading for it. You're absolutely heading for it. I think, this earnings coming up on April 26th, I think you'll get it. WBD. I went over this one, and I did do a comparison of Paramount, WBD, and Netflix. I thought Netflix was the bigger one. WBD, this is Warner Brothers, if you didn't know. This is HBO Max. This is a Discovery Channel. It's basically Warner Brothers Discovery. And they're up 58% year to date. And you can see, they're still losing money, but they've had some crazy good growth. When this one gets under 10, buy it. Just remember, when it's under 10, just buy it. They'll make things work. Zaslov, I think, is their CEO. He's a good one. But yeah, if you want to, look at some of the fundamentals, they're not making money. Their forward PTE is 15. They're up 56% year to date. Their average price target is 21. They're trading at 14, and their average price target is 21. Next one, we just talked about it, Tesla. They're up 58% year to date. Same thing. You had this price at 100. The key point of these, NVIDIA, Meta, Warner Brothers, and Tesla, earlier in the year in January, and with the October lows, think of NVIDIA. It hit 100 in the October lows. It's at 260. You couldn't give that stock away. And nobody wanted it. It's overpriced. It's crazy, blah, 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 including me. Nobody wanted it. So, this is kind of the key metric here is good companies that have good products, that have good management, that have good cost controls. They get rewarded in the market, even in markets like this. The market is not healthy per se, and I think we're in this trading range, but Tesla's up 50%. The next one, AMD, another chip company. This one is up 50% year to date. You're up at 97. Anything under 100 on this one, I think you're fine. I own it. I think my average purchase price is about, I think it's just over 100 now. I dollar cost averaged it. I was well over 100. It's a long-term buy for me. The average target price is 95. It's trading right at 97. I just think that chips are in demand now. And I don't think that those price targets are updated. You can see some sales of about $2 million from an EVP. That's nothing. You can see the same EVP sold $3 million at 81. This guy's just selling. I mean, he may be looking for the exits. Who knows? He sold way back in February at 82, $3 million bucks. You can see down here the chairman and CEO sold in August at 100. That tells you 100 kind of is the price target here. She wants to bring it back up to where she sold. So she hasn't bought anymore, but she gets rewards. So I do think that that's one. I wanted to go over if you think that Q1 is an indication of the rest of the year. Some of the big winners, Microsoft. I mean, Microsoft is just, you can't lose on it's not going to zero. Microsoft is not going to zero. Apple. In fact, Apple, you'll notice it's the secondary cross up right here. It came up on my scans this morning. If you bought in at 153, you're doing well. If you bought in at the 120s down here, you're doing really well. And again, this is just, it's not going to zero. They are not going to zero. Their earnings are coming up April 27th. I don't know that I'd necessarily buy here in the 160s, but the average price target for Apple, I think it's 180 if I'm not mistaken. I'm sorry, 169. So you can see that March, they reiterated 199 price target from Goldman, 180 price target from Morgan Stanley. In January, Bank of America said, hey, well, our price target is 153. They're the only ones that brought it down. So, you know, their PE is expensive. For a company that basically sells iPhones, their forward PE is 24. But Microsoft, Tesla, and Apple, those are the three retail names. If you think retail is going to win, I think you're safe in those. We talked about some short squeezes. Bed Bath & Beyond finally going to declare bankruptcy. This one is down 8% to 54 cents. If you remember, I traded this one at about $2, and I think it jumped up to about $3 or so. Made some money on it. I think I lost that money right away when I bet, you know, it was going to go up again, and it didn't go up again. So these short, just tiny trades. Some of the banks, MCB, Metropolitan Bank Holdings, they're up 24% to 31. I was looking at this, and I think they were down at 24. They closed yesterday at 25.35. They're up to 31 in pre-market. All they did was say liquidity remains strong. That's it. They didn't do anything else other than say liquidity is strong. That's how tight this bank market is. So MCB is one. FRC. Let's FRC. First Republic. This one is up 1% at 13.92. There's a report that Massachusetts is looking at investigating some insider sales before all of this came out. So there's an investigation, same as Silicon Valley, blah, blah, blah. I still say if you get this one in the $13 to $14 range, at some point you'll be rewarded. I do not suggest you hold this over the weekend. This is one you buy and sell. It's one you trade. DPST, same thing. Buy it and sell it. It's at $7.67. It's up $2.13. I think if you get this in the $7 to $8 range, I think you can hold it. I'd probably sell it over the weekend and just look at maybe even taking the loss and then buying it down on Monday because it could be down further if we have some type of event over the weekend. You just don't want to hold this stuff over the weekend. The one that I would suggest holding over the weekend and buying and holding is Schwab. It's up 1%. I think if you get this anywhere between 50 and 55, I think you're doing really well. Remember, the CEO bought this at 59. So Schwab, I think, is fine. Speaking of chips, a late report just came over that China is investigating U.S. chips. I don't have the details. I just saw the screen pop up. But Micron is down 4% at $60. I continue to say this one, the pivot, I think is 55. Anything under 55, I think you can buy. Anything over 55, I think you could probably sell. But again, it's chips, so that changes on a pretty regular basis. As far as scans go, I am not going to do a review of the week, but I did want to go over the scans. Apple, I talked about, had a secondary cross up. I don't think I'd buy it. It's a little bit too high. But if you want to add to your position, you'll be fine in 3 to 5 years. Again, it depends on your time horizon. Square finally got the cross up after that horrendous Hindenburg report. And I said buy at 60. It's at $68. $68.34 is where the cross up happened. Square. Amazon had a cross up, and it's a secondary cross up. Again, anything under 100 on Amazon, I think you're fine. It's trading at 102. It's up 0.38% in pre-market. But Amazon had that secondary cross up. One ETF that I hold is IGM. It's an expanded tech sector ETF. You can go look at it. IGM. We had a cross up here at 313. You have a secondary cross up. It's doing really, really well this year. Again, IGM is one. Another cross up. This one I've been waiting for it to get under 30. It didn't. 3107 is the cross up on Uber. 3107 today. I think I may buy it at 31. Again, they're looking at selling their freight division, focusing just on their core business of Uber Eats and Uber Rides. Those are the two things that really make the money. Lyft, that the two founders left after that horrendous quarter, and it got a pop because the new guy was on the board, and he's blah blah blah. He's really good. TQQQ had a secondary cross up. If you're in this one on the 4-hour and you're trading on the 4-hour, which I don't recommend, 22.17 was the cross up back on March 15th. You're at $26 right now. I'm sorry, 27 in pre-market. That's a $5 gain. That's 20%. I, again, don't recommend holding it over the weekend, but that's not a bad gain on there. TARK. You can see TARK. This is a double levered ETF on ARKK. $61. $61 is the cross up, TARK. Again, these levered ETFs I don't recommend holding over the weekend. We had one sector cross up, and that's the communication sector. XLC, it's a secondary cross up. The original cross up was at 53.84. The RSI is a little bit high. I don't know that I'd look to get into this one. It's over the 200-day. When it dips under the 200-day, I think that's when you can get in, but the communication sector is hot. Okay, that's it for the weekend, for the Friday episode. If you have any questions, you want to know about a stock, you have some questions about taxes, blah, 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 join the Facebook group. Private Facebook group is down below my picture. Go to the link tree. You will find everything that you want to see there as far as the socials. If you leave a comment on Spotify, just let me know in the socials you left a comment on Spotify, because it doesn't alert me that there's something there. If you are paying more than $30 a month for your phone service, there is a link to Visible. You get $20 off. I think their lowest price tier for unlimited right now is $25 a month. It's on the Verizon network. In fact, my parents' Wi-Fi here was slow. I just took off the Wi-Fi. I mean, screw it. I'll use the Visible unlimited, and I was getting 5G. I think I was up at like close to 100 megs per second here. And I'm in the middle of nowhere in Jersey. My parents live in this gated community. There's not a tower forever. And I'm getting 5G. So I like it. Down below, there's a link. You'll save $20 off your first month. The first month is $25 if you get the lower tier. I think it's $35 if you get the upper tier. I haven't seen a need to get the upper tier, so I got the lower tier. You can always go back and forth if you want. I use eSIM, so it's super easy to just transfer. If you've got an iPhone 13 and above, again, I'm long Apple. You Google folks, I'm not helping you. I'm not helping you at all. If you like the charts that I show, TrendSpider, that's what you're looking at right now. I'll give you access to my algorithm. The code is DSP25 to get 25% off. Great algorithm. Watch lists. You can do so much more that I don't even show. Maybe one day. If you want to see a lot of what TrendSpider has, go and watch it on my YouTube channel. I've got a David Yoakum of Yoakum's Charting. He goes over TrendSpider with me and says, here's some of the things you can do. But there's so much more. Go to their YouTube channel. Look at some of the stuff that they have. They have great videos. In fact, Jake just went over, and it's a great video I posted on Twitter, how to draw trend lines. Trend lines are my thing. If you know trend lines, I mean, shit, you can, pick out the stocks that you want. But again, I'm going to be on vacation. I'm going to Chicago and Houston next week. So if you want access to my algorithm and you don't want to listen to my voice on the podcast or me on YouTube, just get TrendSpider. Again, you have to have an appropriate size amount for your either portfolio or trading activity. But yeah, I like it. So final one, ID Shop. They're the ones that are sending me out on this MLS gig. And I really like them. So if you need badges, if you need printing materials, if you need anything, idshop.com. Yeah, and I'm looking. Boyle is up 10%. KOLD is way down. Mullen is up 30%, says Joe. MULN. Yeah, go and look at those stocks. There's a lot of opportunities. We're in a trading range. Just realize we're in a trading range. So the big move down, I don't think is going to happen today. I think it's a pretty good day. It's been a good week. I think it's been a good quarter. Reallocate your. I think I've got some cash on the sidelines. I'm waiting for a drop. I've just been waiting for a drop, and I didn't think February's drop was big enough. It'll be interesting to see what April brings us. But I'm considering Meta under 200. Google, I still want to get more under 100. Amazon, I've got enough. I think Microsoft probably pulls back to the 260s at some point in time. Remember, I just give you targets to try and make sure that you understand where I think the bargains are. And where the bargains are typically not, hey, like Bank of America. I bought it $29.90, somewhere in that neighborhood. I'm down, but I'm holding for a year. Do I think that in a year Bank of America is going to be up? Absolutely. Do I think Wells Fargo will be back above 40? Absolutely. Do I think Citibank is going to be back above 50? Absolutely. Do I think JP Morgan will be back at 140? Absolutely. I'm not an investor in JP Morgan because I think those efforts had something to do with Epstein. And I think they fully well knew about Epstein. So we will see about that one. Do I think Goldman Sachs is back up to 380? Yep. I think the banks get bigger. Honest to God. I think financials, we went over it earlier in the week and listened to the previous episodes if this is the first one you're. But energy and financials, they underperformed in the first quarter. Go and do your research. Find out what underperformed. Because typically what underperformed will come up. The others may come down. And just get ready because I do think that technology may come down. I don't think that Apple is deserving of the 160, but they may be just buying a ton of stock back. I mean, who knows? Maybe even Warren Buffett's buying a bunch of stock. He said anytime that thing comes down, he's been buying. So maybe he likes it even more. You can see what he's done with Oxy. I got a message from somebody, God, I wish it would have bought Oxy under 60, more of it. Well, I don't know that it necessarily goes to 70 anytime soon, but, it's like a bank account. If Warren's investing in it, he's not necessarily getting out. When you see it go up 10% or so, like you saw Taiwan Semi, I think it was a 20% gain that he wound up taking in Taiwan Semi. He got completely out. My guess, and I don't think he said this, is he just doesn't want any exposure to China. Charlie Munger has said he likes BABA, and he thinks that BYD has a better opportunity to gain than Tesla. But those political tensions, you can't ignore them. So have a great weekend. I am going to stop rambling on, but I will talk to you Monday. See you guys. Okay. I was getting uncomfortable. I'll take a look at Mullen, Joe. I'll take a look. Let me get this. Share, export song to disk. Mullen was such a hype stock. Where is my Safari? There it is. MULN. Bum, bum, bum. They are up 23% in pre-market. It's up to 14 cents. Let's look at WLN. Let's say. So I'm to September 2nd, September 7th, Bollinger Motors, which I remember hearing about, became a majority owner of the EV truck company Mullen. I didn't think they were this close to delivering. They have no revenue. The CEO sold $14 million worth at 32 cents. $15 million. I remember, and I don't know if, let me see. Zip Trader Charlie. Zip Trader Mullen. Go and look at this. I mean, look at all the videos that he's done on Mullen. Um, 2 months ago. I mean, it was at $2 and stuff. I'd be a little bit nervous. Honestly, Joe, I mean, pull your beer money out. I was nervous because they have nothing. I mean, you can look at the company financials, some of their statements. They have nothing in total revenue. The CEO is a guy who used to have some type of company and it exploded, and he did a cash grab right before it exploded. And Charlie went over it, and it just scared me from putting money into it. But look at the chart. I mean, even though they announced that they had deliveries, yeah, and I just worry that it's all, I mean, look, it's all retail hype. Now, what I will tell you is when you look at this, if we go to the 65-minute algorithm, let's run the 65-minute on Mullen. You are in at 9 cents. So, Joe, if you had TrendSpider, you'd know when to get out. But, yeah, you're in at 9 cents. It's up at 14. And it just, yeah, we just hit 9:30. Yeah, market just opened up. So you got a gap. It'll be interesting to see the volume. Let me look at Active Trader Pro. Let me move you over to Active Trader. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to quick GarageBand. Save. I'll switch you over to Active Trader Pro. And so Mullen, you want to look at I'm going to take these off. Mullen, you want to look at here is they've already had 171 million in volume, and their average 10-day is 346, average 90-day is 225, so it does have the momentum with it. Yeah. You might have a good chance at that one, Joe. I still, I'd take the hype on it. To be honest with you, I'd probably take the hype on it. And look to maybe buy back in at 12 or 13. Yeah, at 9 to, I'd probably sell half my lot. Try and put it in at, I'd say 16 cents. Try sell half your lot at 16 cents and just wait for the day. I think volume's super high right now, so new episode. Podcast 331. God, I was boring this morning. I just have no energy. I'm going to put... There we go. It's a relaxed, patched in kind of day. Let me go to... Oh, no, I want to go to this one. Oh, I'm getting alerts. Bum, bum, bum. Episodes. We're going to take this and notes. Oh, Joe, you're a monster. I love that. That's 65-minute algo, man. I've wanted to, and I've been trying, because it's on an 8-day EMA. I tried a 6-day EMA, and it didn't perform as well. And I think I tried RSI. I tried MACD with some different numbers on the MACD, not the standard one. Because I watched a YouTube video about MACD, and he said it changed an 8 to a 9 or something. I forget. But I tried it all. And just a simple 8-day EMA on the 65-minute worked really well. Okay. Oh, come on. By the way, if you guys haven't, hit the like button and make sure you're subscribed. I have a lot more energy normally than this. I'm just a little tired. It was a long day yesterday. And it's been a long morning. I got to wash my car. There you go. You're at 15. You're at 15, Joe. That's a big percentage move, too. SPY, QQQ, DPST, Apple, Mara, Square, PayPal, Boyle, UCO, XLF, XLE, Baba, Meta, Google, NVIDIA. There we go. Okay. Q1. $31.23. Okay. Bum bum bum. Weeble link. Publish now. We're just gonna put in SPY, NVIDIA, QQQ, TQQ, SQQ, Boyle, Tesla, Warner Brothers, let's see, GWH, SOFI, Meta, AMD, BBBY, FRC, DPST, Schwab, MU, Square, Amazon, Uber, TRK, ARK, IGM, IWM, boom. Okay. I got that out there. And I think I'm done. Let me just look. Joe, you're under 15. Yeah. Okay, a short one today. Okay, folks. I am out of here. It is 9:30. I'm getting my weekend started. I suggest you do the same. I will be back Monday. I am traveling. My next week's schedule, just so you guys know, hit the thumbs up button. And if you haven't, hit subscribe and hit alerts. I am traveling on Wednesday next week, Thursday and Friday and Saturday. I may not have a show. I'll update you as I get closer. But make sure you hit that alert button, because I typically don't do videos. I may do a video later today, but I typically don't. But if I do, you'll get once in a blue moon. Most of the time you'll get alerts just because I'm live. So if you have any questions, again, the link tree is down below. And if you're sitting on your phone and you're paying more than $30 a month for your unlimited self-service, go on to Visible. It's better. Okay, folks. Joe, I hope you hit 20 today. But get the hell out of that thing before the weekend.